Good evening and welcome to another episode of the Drop Zone. As you can see, I have more guests than Cody Rhodes has got stitches in his forehead. So we'll start off by introducing everyone. Jake, how you doing, mate? Welcome back again.
Hello, what's up, people?
How you doing? You okay?
Yeah, I'm alright, thank you. Yourself?
Yep, not too bad, not too bad. Adam, it was a pleasure to have you on. How you doing, mate?
Good, thank you. It was a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me again, and nice to see a big panel tonight.
And Owen, first time on, making his debut. How you doing?
Oh, good. Thanks, mate. All good. Thanks for having me.
That's all right. No problem at all. And Georgia Boy, welcome back after a week off last week.
Sorry, I'm not laughing. I'm still laughing at the Cody Rhodes.
Oh. I have to get them in.
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Thanks. Yeah, had a week off, so looks like I've missed quite a lot.
Yeah, in the world of WWE. And Abdi, a Cody Crybaby, if you don't mind me calling you that. Welcome to your debut on the show.
Proud Cody Crybaby, proud. Not too bad. Thank you for welcoming me to the show. And yeah, ready to rock and roll. It's been a big week, a lot to talk about. So yeah, hope everyone's doing well.
And Craig, how you doing, mate? I heard you're slightly injured.
Yeah, mate. Pulled a stone cold in our knee brace, the lot. Yeah, not bad. Yeah, all right. Apart from that, mate. Hope everyone's all right.
Yeah, all good. We've actually got an exclusive photo for you today, actually. It's just something we all wanted you to wish you. That's for all of us here at the Drop Zone, mate. We just want to wish you well and hope the knee
and that's the bottom line because Craig says so, yeah.
And Tariq, always a pleasure to have you on, mate. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. I'm happy to be back for another week of talking about wrestling.
Excellent. And Tony, is back again as John Cena. We can hear you, but we probably can't see you. How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you. Not too bad.
You sure you're okay?
Yeah, I'm great. Yeah, superb.
Okay, we'll take your word for that at the moment until we can see you.
If I keep disappearing and coming back, then
we'll get you in. Don't worry, it's fine. And also we have Mr. Tom. Mr. Tom's in the chat, proudly supporter. Evening, Tom. How you doing?
Evening, Tom.
Like we say, there's a lot to talk about. So we'll get straight into it. And we had SmackDown kicking off, didn't we? We had Rey Mysterio first of all. He had a match against Santos Escobar, the match we thought we would see at WrestleMania. I'll start with you, Tariq. And we had Dominic come out, which was quite a surprise, really, because we thought that feud was dead and buried in the end. What did you make of that?
I thought it was really good because Dominic, even though he's got his Judgment Day stuff going on Raw, it's good that he's got his finger in a couple of pies. And I'm looking forward to maybe a storyline where the father and son have another match. Not the rubber one, but something like, probably not Mania, but after it.
Do you think it could be a match where, or is it too late down the lines where it could be like the loser, he kind of retires, right?
Yeah, I think it'll be more like a hair versus mask type match where I'm not sure how long Ray's got left, but it could be one where he puts Dominic over and gives him the mask. I think that's why he wore the mask when he came. Maybe it's like a sign.
Yeah, it's a bit strange because we thought we were going to see, Santos and Rey at WrestleMania. Does anybody else in here have any thoughts and feelings with regards to where they're going along that storyline, or do you think we've pretty much?
I do. In terms of Santos versus Rey, I didn't think it'd be the match at WrestleMania. I thought the direction. And I still think the direction is going to be like a big multi-man between LW and Legado. Dominic getting involved is not really much of a surprise to me. I always sort of thought Dominic would find his way back to Rey, and them sort of parting ways from last year's WrestleMania to now is sort of try and just keep them apart, let the stuff simmer. They haven't really mended fences, so they've still got the beef. Dominic eventually will get his win back. Don't know when it will be, don't know how long down the line, but I could see the possibility of them doing Rey Mysterio, Dragon Lee, and the other two from LW, Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro, against Legado, Santos, and who's it? who's Angel Garza and Berto, and possibly Dominic, as the fourth. There was a possibility of me thinking they might include Andrade somewhere in that, but I'm not too sure on that front. Because then you'd have to probably get Carlito for the LWO side, and you can do 5 and 5. But yeah, I think that's sort of the direction. And there's still going to be a couple of matches probably announced for WrestleMania. I don't think the card is finished. There was talk of it, them wanting to have 7 on each night, and I think they've announced 10 so far, a total. So, 4 more probably. That's the expectation. But yeah, that's the main thoughts on that.
Cool. And then we had a couple of backstage segments. We had Bayley, who was thanking Naomi, but Bianca Belair, she still isn't quite on board, which we'll come to a bit later. It changed a bit around there. And then we went into another match where we had Austin Theory and Grayson Waller versus the OC. Owen, I'll come to you on this one. Was you surprised to see Austin and Waller go through? Or did you think the OC were going to book their place at Mania?
No, I'm pretty sure I was always thinking that they were going to win. I didn't think, because the OC are obviously doing more down in NXT at the moment. So, I thought Grayson and Austin Theory would win that.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else thought we might have seen different with the OC winning? Now they split with AJ, or was it you see them too?
No.
Cool. Are we on the assumptions they're just in it to make up the numbers and they're going to split and go their own ways, or are they possibly feuding, Adam?
Well, Grayson Waller and Austin
Theory, Do you see them as a long-term tag team?
I don't know about long-term, but I don't think they're going to split particularly soon. I don't think they'll win either of the titles. We've spoken about the titles going to be split. I don't think they'll win either one of them. Maybe an outside chance of them grabbing the SmackDown belts, but no, I think they'll continue to be aligned going through, SummerSlam, maybe Survivor Series. Yeah, medium term, I guess I see them as a tag team.
Cool. And then we had another promo. We had Braun Breaker's promo video. George, I want to ask you a question on Braun Breaker, and if you could plan out his year, his 2024, how would you do it?
I would. I know some people have said about him winning like Money in the Bank. I don't think that will happen. But if it was down to me, I'd like to see him fight in those higher end event matches. So I would. Like, I did see someone on Twitter say something about the like if Cody wins, but I don't see that. But personally, maybe some Logan Paul don't win, like a feud like that, them two. But it all depends how they're going to build it. Are they going to just build him as like that monster? Like just he does fights in those like matches that puts him over. I wouldn't mind to see him batter Logan Paul and KSI. So that's just a mystery. But
we know about your love for KSI, George.
I'd like to think they'd handle him a bit better than like sort of Braun Strowman. It kind of got to the point where they didn't really know what to do with Braun because he was so big and strong and a powerhouse. Yeah. So I'd like to see him Intercontinental title picture. I think at some point, maybe build him on that for a little bit. Obviously, we don't want another long reign. I think we've spoken about that. Once these reigns are done, sort of get them out of the way. Yeah. Go back to having champions every other couple of months or few months or whatever. So the Intercontinental title, I don't think throw him straight in the World Heavyweight or Universal. Get him on the he come to Raw, didn't he? So Intercontinental.
He's on SmackDown.
Oh no, SmackDown. Sorry, sorry. US title. Sorry, yeah.
That's why I wouldn't want him going down the route of the Strowman route because I know he's already been compared to that.
Yeah, and it's like they just completely didn't know what to do with him. To be fair,
I'd say he's a lot more athletic in terms of than Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman was he's a very big dude as well. Not that Braun Breaker isn't a big dude, but like he's not as big as that. He's more like a tank just running at you. He moves so quickly as well. He can jump. Like the way they put that package together, it was all like a science like him and built in a science lab sort of thing. Like it's kind of reminiscent to that fella that we don't mention anymore. But you know, I George kind of mentioned it earlier that I did see a similar thing where someone said that he could shot Cody potentially down the line. I'm not sure about that one, but I don't know. I might not be that anti it in terms of him becoming a world champion sooner rather than later. But he's got all the potential. He's got all the potential, and it's just whether he lives up to it.
Jake, could we see him having a feud maybe if Randy Orton wins the US title? Is that something you would want to see? Do you think
I would love to see that if that happened. As Randy's like one of my all-time favourites. If he did win Mania, hopefully he does, then I can possibly see those two fighting. I agree with the other people that Braun is a really good fighter. I don't know if you probably saw the bit he did last night. That was just out of this world. Of that
where he caught him, flipped him, and yeah.
He's got
he's got the stamina and he's got the potential to hopefully be in a feud in that type of way. But yeah.
So what fills me with confidence is that Triple H is leading it now. Do you know what I mean? And he's a lot wiser than Voldemort, we'll call him.
He who must not be named.
Yeah. So hopefully, he'll go down the route and he will be a big in 2024.
Yeah, he was built by them as well. Like he came straight from their PC and sort of trained in the way they want them to be trained, really. So he's like their own star that they've made, so they can build him up, and then he could be one for the future. So I'd expect him to be main event in WrestleManias down the line. Like you look back at a decade ago, you had like Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, all them. You look at them now; those are the guys in that position. Right now, Braun Strowman, Braun Breaker, Tiffany Stratton, those are the sort of Carmella Hayes, Trick Williams, those are the people coming up. Maybe in 10 years, those are going to be the guys who are going to be main event in WrestleMania as well. So, pretty future's bright.
For sure. Just want to say a couple of hellos. Hello to Russ Morgan, who's in the chat. Hello to Sophie, who's in. We have Lee as well. Thank you guys for the support and the comments. Keep on coming. Any questions for the panel? I'm sure they'll be obliged to answer them. They'll love to. And then we moved on to another match. We had Iyo Sky versus Naomi. And this is the match where, Bianca Belair actually come down and she did help. Tariq, I'll go to you because I know you're a big advocate of the women's division. Is that what you wanted to see, or did you want more of a surprise, someone surprised to help Bayley?
No, I think it's going to be, we wanted the Bianca thing. I think it's still where Bianca's got some doubts, which is good, but it leans to it could drag on until WrestleMania because you've got Bayley getting taken out by Iyo at the start, so she's a non-factor, and then Naomi sort of having that feud with them guys, and then also at the end when she got sprayed with the mist, Tiffany Stratton came over as well, so they sort of mixing feuds together. So I think it's really good. It's a bit slow, but Bayley's sort of been pushed to the background now. Getting Bianca and Naomi in, Bayley's sort of been pushed, and I think they're sort of building towards matches for all of them. So Bayley's got her title match. Bianca will probably get saved by Jade because Jade's debuting next week. Mm-hmm. So I reckon they'll probably go for the tag titles at the kickoff show. Mm-hmm. So it's like getting fights in there here or there.
Yeah. Abdi, I'll go to you. We had the promo yet for Jade, who's going to be now signing with SmackDown and should be on next week's show. Is it too late for her to get a match at Mania?
No, I just want to quickly say on the package as well, also Beast. I don't think so. No, there's still 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks now. By Friday, it'll be 8 days. WrestleMania's kind of crept up on us. It felt so far away, but it's actually very close. I don't think it's too far. I feel like they've put the pieces in place, how they're building the story. I agree with Tariq in the sense that it will she'll probably help out in the damage control section, but I think it will be 6 women rather than just the tag team. They might do that, but I feel like they might have something for Naomi as well in terms of that, because I'm not sure if they'll just leave Naomi out like that. But yeah, I think we'll get something confirmed potentially maybe this week on Friday, in terms of it being 6 women or whether it be a tag title match. So yeah, I think she'll get involved.
Cool. And then we had some news that LA Knight had visited AJ Styles' house.
Wendy! We saw Wendy as well.
We saw Wendy. Wendy and Samoa Joe was in the background somewhere. But yeah, I'll go to you, Owen. Just give me your thoughts and feelings on that segment. It just felt like old school Attitude Era. I'm turning up at your house when Triple H did it with Randy Orton, or Randy Orton did it with Triple H. I can't remember. It was that long ago.
It's Triple H and Randy. Yeah.
Yeah, it just felt like
that's
a little segment.
That's what I first thought of when I saw it. I thought it was a great segment. It's a way of getting the rivalry more exciting, which it was a slow start at the beginning, but I think now it's getting a lot better towards Mania. So yeah, I reckon it's going to be a good match at Mania. I'm looking forward to it.
Does anybody else have any thoughts on the LA Knight AJ match? Who might go over? Who needs it more?
Probably LA Knight, you know.
Yeah, I would say LA Knight as well. Yeah,
LA Knight. Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. Anybody for AJ? Just me then.
No.
I
love AJ.
I don't think LA Knight needs it more than AJ. I think they're both around about the same level. I think AJ's a top guy, LA Knight's a top guy. I don't think one of them will get more of a rub off the other, if that makes sense. I think, they'll put on a decent match. I'm looking forward to it. And whoever goes over, it'll, be okay with me.
And then we went on to another qualifying match. That's all we seem to have at the moment is these qualifying matches. I'll be glad when they're over. We had AOP.
They're good matches, though. They're very good.
It was a good match. Don't get me wrong. It was Street Profits and the AOP. It was a small package, wasn't it, that picked up the win?
Yeah.
Talk to me about the AOP, Tony. Tell me what this faction is with Karrion Kross, with Paul Ellering. Has it got legs?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't have an opinion on it.
No.
I know we're here to tell our opinions and everything, but when they first come up, I think it was about 2 years ago before they got released, they looked absolute monsters.
Yeah.
Absolute monsters. They come in and they destroyed everyone. I just don't think the second coming of him has been that great. I think they've probably put him with I don't have an answer to this question, but I think they put him with the wrong people. I think they should have been on their own with Paul Ellering, not with can't remember his name now.
Karrion Kross.
That's the one, yeah. I think they should have gone on their own, done what they were doing before. Yeah, I mean, they're good wrestlers, don't get me wrong. For big guys, they are really, really agile and they've really got some chemistry. But yeah, I can't see it going too far, to be honest.
What is people's thoughts on Karrion Kross? I mean, when he was in NXT, he was unstoppable. They built him up so well, shaved his head, made him look more menacing, as our shave head people know. Is he just going to be a mid-card jobber now? Is he ever going to get the push that he deserves? Or
I just don't think he suits the main roster at the moment. No, I think he should maybe go back down to NXT for a few months again and see if he can get more hype about him, and then maybe back up to the main roster. But I don't think he suits SmackDown at the moment.
A bit like what they did with Baron Corbin.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. Now he's really good in NXT again.
I mean, when he come up, wasn't he losing matches to Jeff Hardy? Like when he first...
Yeah, that was because of Voldemort.
They literally built him up. He was NXT champion. Like, he was massive. Like, next big thing. Then he's losing matches to Jeff Hardy. Like, I mean, that pretty much set everything in motion for it to go downhill for him, really.
And they also put him in that costume as well, didn't they?
Don't forget the jumpsuit.
That was probably the worst thing ever that I've seen.
That was before Triple H's era, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll blame Voldemort for that one. Yeah.
We'll call him Voldemort. And then we went on to the last promo of the night, which we had. It was Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes alone. I can comma that, alone. I'll go to you, Adam. Just your thoughts, your feelings. Was that the promo we needed with just them two? No outside interference? Well, we did get it in the end, but did you think they needed to have that moment together?
I think they did. I think it was, timely. I won't say overdue, but it was certainly, due, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And it was good. Some thoughts I had, and I know we're going to come on to it, but thoughts I had when watching Raw this week. The promos feel less scripted now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they are less scripted, but, either way, that's a good thing. It feels like they're still working within certain perimeters, which is not a bad thing, particularly them being more corporate now with TKO and all of that. It feels like the guys, they're being versions of themselves. It feels like they're going out there and improvising. Whether they are or they aren't, the fact that it feels more natural, it feels more organic, it feels more realistic is, just a very positive thing. And yeah, I enjoyed it. I don't know how long it lasted, but I wasn't sort of looking at the time. It felt right, it felt real, it felt good. And yeah, it was needed. And it's a nice timely reminder that that's the main event of the main event, Roman versus Cody.
Mm-hmm. George, what did you make of the whole standoff at the end with the Jay and Seth turning up to confront them? Did you think there would have been some sort of action, or was the stand enough for you?
Whatever Jay Uso does, I'm sold on anyway. So from day. Yeah, I thought the standoff was enough because I thought, obviously, I know we'll talk about Raw. There was definitely going to be stuff that happened on Raw to follow that. I did like when Roman said, "We'll do this alone." Like, let's be honest, like they both chatted crap because they both knew they weren't turning up alone. Like I know Roman Reigns, people say that, but Cody knew that he wasn't turning up on his own as well.
It's a good thing. He showed he's not stupid.
I don't know, it depends how many times he gets super kicked. I don't know. I didn't mind it. Like Adam said, I think they're less scripted now, and it was definitely we needed to have that. It just this whole segment with Reigns and Cody, it doesn't feel like it don't feel like other segments. Like when you look at the ones like years ago, like you'd have a lot more showdowns and face down stuff. But with this one, so I'm kind of glad that happened. I don't know, Seth's still getting on my nerves. Like, I really like Seth Rollins, but it doesn't. Just we'll come to it on Raw, but just focus on what's in front of you. Like, I don't know, but that's just me.
Yeah, no, and then there's a great question actually from Mr. Tom. He's put in there, I think Roman Reigns has been completely neutered by The Rock. The real food is obviously Rock and Rose. Do you feel, Craig, that's taken the full picture of WrestleMania now? Do you feel Rock and Rhodes is the match that we want to see, the tag team match, rather than them two?
I think so. I think, like we've said before, there's not really been that build up. We talked about it, the Rock and Stone Cold's WrestleMania, that whole build up, the promo, the videos, the attacking each other left, right, and centre. We've not really seen that with Roman and Cody, but obviously we'll get to Raw. We're obviously seeing a lot more between The Rock and Cody. I don't know why they've decided to do that and not kind of builds, because it's part two. It's the finishing the story malarkey. You would have thought they maybe would have built on it a little bit more, but it appears their main focus is on the tag match, but Rock and Cody rather than anyone else.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys agree. I just think title matches are a backseat event. Like,
sorry, mate, you cut out. What was that?
Sorry, I'm saying I think both title matches now feel like a backseat event.
Yeah.
Like the main,
like,
Rock and Cody, and then even the tag teams took over WrestleMania for me. Like, I'd be really pissed off if I was Drew McIntyre.
I agree and disagree. It's sort of the way I see it is, yes, it has sort of overshadowed it in a way. Like it is going to be that night one main event. So Rock's main priority is literally just that. So anytime you see The Rock, he's building towards that. Anything around, and he's been around quite frequently, to be fair, and made a shocking one on Monday. But the night one main event, I get what you're saying with the Seth thing. I feel like that's the whole point. And what I like about the whole Triple H regime right now is that it doesn't feel like people are boxed off into like one little thing. It's a whole thing that anything can interact with anything, and it's sort of moving parts. And it does make sense. It's not like all linear. It can just shift and move about. So Drew McIntyre, he's not happy, but he's just sitting there doing all his thing, and it showed on Monday as well. At the end of the show, we'll get to that when we get to Raw. But everything is just building towards their different moving parts, and we'll get there. I think night one will be like Infinity War from Avengers, and night two will probably be the Endgame style, where everything just goes off and goes. It's just going to be the most overbooked schmoz fest. You're just going to see everything going down there. And I think it will just go down as one of the biggest WrestleMania main events of all time. So let's hope it does. That's the hype. That's the expectation. But we'll see if it lives up to that. So yeah. As for the actual segment, I don't like the bit of the energy that I was hoping for from it. It was good, but I wanted like more. I just wanted a bit more. That's it. But I got that more on Monday, so we'll get to that.
It's quite strange though. We haven't seen Cody Rhodes have a match. Can you remember? Does anyone here remember the last time he had an actual match?
Drew McIntyre, I think. Was it when he lost him?
I thought it was Nakamura.
Probably.
Oh yeah,
probably.
Yeah.
Was it?
I think it was Nakamura. Yeah.
Was it Drew?
When was that back in January?
No, it would have been before Elimination Chamber.
When the ball rope.
Yeah,
ball rope match.
Yeah, that was in January. He did have another one of them, but I think it was the loss to Drew McIntyre, and that was it. But it makes sense as well. Keep him healthy as well, you know.
Yeah, go for it, Owen.
On the tag match at Mania as well, I still think The Rock's gonna turn on Roman at some point.
Yeah,
I don't know now. I don't know now.
I don't know now either.
I don't know. That's a good thing as well. It's changed it.
Heel, mate. Full blown. He's taking everyone out. He'll probably do Jimmy and Solo as well, just for laughs. Like, he's going on a mad one, mate. Honestly.
Yeah.
I don't know. The theme's changed. The shirts are back on. I don't think that's going to end something.
I can still see him staying heel post Mania. I feel like if they go down the route, they could potentially have Roman as the babyface in this feud now.
Yeah, I see someone turning in Roman Cody, but I don't see it being Rock. No.
I see Seth more than The Rock turning.
I don't see it. I don't see that one. I don't.
The way I know we're going to talk about it, but the way when he said he felt like something was going to go down as Jay was walking out, and then the smile sort of turned into a serious look. Whether that they're trying to just throw the scent, I don't know, but it didn't look promising, did it?
Jey Uso to turn in the main event. You heard it here first.
Leave Jey Uso alone.
And you know what? This is what we love. We don't know what's going to happen. The unpredictability.
Exactly.
At the moment. You know, we all moan when we know what's going to happen. We know who's going to win. So as The Rock said, sit back and enjoy the ride. That's what I think. Anyway, so that was SmackDown. As I do, I'm going to run around and get everyone's ratings. I'll start with you, Jake. What would you give SmackDown this week?
Definitely higher rating than I did last week. I think it was a 6 I did last week or 7, but it's definitely probably a 9.5 for me.
Cool.
Not in the 10, but 9.5, just because of the Naomi bit, but that's something else. There.
Adam?
I'd give it probably about the same as I did last week. I mean, SmackDown's probably pound for pound my favourite wrestling show at the moment, so I'd give it an 8.5.
Owen?
I'm going to go for an 8 out of 10. Strong rating.
George?
8, just because I don't like Dirty Dom.
Abdi?
I'd say 8.5. A lot of good wrestling on the show. Wasn't taking up too much time with Rock stuff, so I felt like it flowed a lot better this week. So yeah, 8.5.
And Craig?
Yeah, I'll probably have to go the same. To be fair, 8.5 was a decent show. To be fair,
Tariq?
I'd give it a 9.
Yeah.
I'm sort of. I think what everyone said is they're happy with how certain things are gone. They're not sure about certain things, like the main event, where they said it's back. It's sort of gone to the back. I sort of think it's really good that Cody and Roman aren't laying hands on each other just yet.
Mm-hmm.
And so on. So I give it just a little bit higher than the rest of the guys, just because of that. And then also, like you said, the women's matches were, well, their storylines were progressing, and you know I like that.
Mm. And Tony?
Yeah, I'll give it an 8 as well. I think it was a solid show. Some good build-ups for next week's WrestleMania. So yeah, I'll give it an 8.
Cool. And then we move on to Raw. And we were saying it's probably one of the best Raws, to be fair, in the last year and a half, I would say. Anybody disagree, or would you say
maybe a bit longer? Yeah,
maybe a bit longer.
Yeah,
longer.
We kicked off with obviously Cody coming down and saying that, you know, something about a wank fest. We won't go too much into wank fest on it.
They don't bleep that out, but they bleep everything else out. Like,
yeah, you know what I mean? Everything else.
I don't know what it means. That's why I don't
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I must say, on this Raw, I do think, like someone said before, with the promos and everything, I think it's gone more unscripted as well, with like the language that everyone's using and all of that. It didn't feel like it was a PG show, which is a good thing for me. I think they should, as they're moving to Netflix next year, I think they're trying to raise the rating a little bit, perhaps, to get it feel more edgy and more exciting and stuff like that.
And then we had a surprise, the Chicago crowd. He wasn't advertised to be there, but he made an appearance.
Well, unless you're in the WhatsApp group and someone tries to talk in code.
Unless it's 2 o'clock in the morning in the WhatsApp group.
Not code. That is not code whatsoever.
Gillian, if you're watching, sorry, you know I'm only joking.
But yeah, he made a return and face to face with Cody, and no words were spoken. I don't think The Rock was getting paid by the minute. But yeah, I'll go to you, Adam. I'll start with you, actually. I'll go around everyone because this was quite an intense segment. Even though no words were spoken, it was just electric in that arena. And did it leave you just thinking, wow, that was pretty, even though nothing was said, it just left you wanting more, and it was like, yeah, this is what we needed. That intensity, that side of The Rock.
Yeah, I think so. The Rock has such gravitas, doesn't he? It was a genuine surprise, as far as I know. You know, regardless of what that message is or whatever. I think for the live crowd, you know, and had you been watching live on TV, it was a genuine, you know, oh shit moment. Can we say that? Are we allowed to say? I don't know what the rating is. It's got 9 o'clock. Yeah. If we get fined, I'll pay half, Jonezy. So, and yeah, I think the whole, you know, him not really saying anything. I don't want to get into that whole thing, but you could kind of see one thing. The first thing The Rock said, it seemed to be next or something like that, and then, you know, probably there must be someone out there that can really got quite a good view of him. So,
I believe what he said was, "Tonight I'm going to make you bleed."
Yeah,
that's what I came across. That was the general consensus.
Well, there we go. Maybe that's a promise he could keep. Who knows? We'll find out later, I guess. But yeah, it was an electric moment, an unexpected moment, and you can just kind of feel that the whole kind of company and every person within it, everyone's up in their game. You know, every segment means something, every promo means something, every entrant means something, every bit of interference, you know, everyone's vying for minutes, everyone's vying for attention. You know, I think they're almost in competition with themselves in some ways, you know what I mean? You know, SmackDown's competing with Raw again, and like I say, segment to segment, superstar to superstar, they're all trying to get a bigger and bigger moment, they're all trying to get more and more impact, and it's making for fantastic television at the moment.
But yeah, like I say, the whole of Twitter, or X as we call it now, turned into reading people. Like literally everyone was coming out with everything. We had some crazy memes as well that I won't put on here, what The Rock said or whispered in his ear.
I think he told him Arsenal were going to beat City on Sunday.
that was the one I saw. I was looking for it today to try and put it on there. We had, here you go, Mr. Tom thought he said, do you know where the TV remote is? And there was quite a few flying about.
The one I liked was that I'm going to make you Stardust after Mania.
But no, it was a pretty for no words being said other than Cody's beginning bit. It was pretty intense segment, and when The Rock turned and walked away, the Chicago crowd let him know what happened. Actually, I just want to give props to that woman who said a piece to Roman Reigns on Raw. I don't know if any of you guys saw it.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
She's become a bit of an internet sensation. If you haven't seen it, check it out. I might post a link later. But yeah, it was pretty good. But Tariq, what did you make of the whole segment and then Rock walking away? Cody looked very startled and shocked, like he had heard something like that he hasn't heard him say to him already. But did you feel it just built to more of the suspense what we were going to get towards the end of the night?
Yes, it was. The thing is, with Cody's passion, I'm a bit of a crybaby as well. I love this passion, and now he's telling his story of why he wants it, because it just seems like in SmackDown he came like the politician that Roman Reigns said he was. But he sort of, even though when he gets that passion, he feels like he's about to cry. It sort of builds him like where people can empathize with him and think it's his dream, he wants it. And I noticed when he got angry, he turned with his lisp as well. He was turning into full on Dusty Rhodes. I thought he was going to say something about hard times in there as well. It was fantastic from him, and it was like the part when he got all the fans to point towards the WrestleMania sign. He's trying to start his own little yes movement, but a couple of weeks before Mania starts. But it was nice seeing the interruption, even though Rock wasn't advertised, and it was really good. And like I said in the last thing we had, I like the Rock's entrance, the Black Adam thing. Every time it comes on, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
And I just thought when he walked in and they had the holy shit part.
Yeah.
I thought that was really, really good. It reminded me of Rock versus Hogan when they were looking at each other. But I sort of thought maybe went to him, and Rock thought, "Damn, I've not wrote the my promo on my hand. I forgot what I was going to say." Okay, let's go back.
He'll never get away from that, will he, The Rock? But no, yeah, like I say, people we reference the Avengers, but yeah, it was like Thanos just arrived on Earth when he was after the Avengers. It was proper. They've made him the literal final boss. Does anybody else have any thoughts and feelings on that promo, Owen?
I do. Yeah, I just want to say quickly, that was sort of the energy I wanted from the SmackDown promo. That translated over here. I felt like Cody stood tall in terms of what he was trying to say and come across with. And then The Rock showing up took me back. I was like, oh shit, what's going on here? So yeah, no, he. What can I say that everyone else hasn't? He's literally just got the aura around him when he shows up and steps into a room. He's just huge. Like, he looks huge now as well. And it's just like the entrance, everything about him, the gravitas, the way he can hold your attention, just by not even saying anything, just by walking into the room, just has the attention from everyone. And not saying a word, thought it was genius. And the energy between them, the crowd, everything about it, done more in that one segment than what Roman and Cody were trying to do on SmackDown. And I agree now. I kind of want to see Rock and Cody rather than Rhodes and Roman, or Rock and Roman even, because the tension between those two, they're the ones who are really in this beef. But yeah, we shall see where that develops, and we'll get on to what happened later in the night.
Yeah. And then anybody else have any thoughts? Sorry, Owen, Jake, did you have anything?
I thought the only thing that I didn't like, I don't know if you guys agreed, but when I know he's called the final boss,
yeah,
but I just didn't like the thing they did in the entrance. I don't know if you guys caught it, but when they were doing the drop into the Hollywood Rock theme, they did the final boss. That's the only thing that I didn't like. I don't understand why they did it, but
sorry, where was that?
Sure.
Was that on the Tron?
It was on the entrance
by the ball.
But that's the only bit I didn't like about the entrance.
I like the whole final boss.
Yeah, I like
it's cool. It fits him. He genuinely feels like the final boss.
Yeah.
Everyone was scrambling as soon as they heard his music. They were running. They're like, "Let's go!"
If
He's
everyone's
here.
talking about Rock turning on Roman, but how do you think Roman feels that Rock's come in and he's the final boss? What if Roman turned on Rock?
Roman never turns on anyone. Everyone turns on Roman. Roman trusts everyone.
With the way that things are going at the minute, you don't know.
Well, do you mean Jade turned on Roman?
I do feel like Roman is like, he does feel a bit like an afterthought, and I don't like saying that, even though he's on this mammoth title reign. But it's just the Rock's orbit, his aura, everything about him just sucks just any focus and attention away from him. He's like kind of just a background character in his own, like, he's supposed to be main event, and he's going to break the record for the most WrestleMania main events this year as well. With 9, he's going to do 8 and 9 back to back.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Ooh, interesting. We'll see what happens. Owen, did you have any thoughts on that?
Not really, but I'm just going to say I don't think it is going to happen, but I would love to see Rock win the title from Roman in the future, possibly. I think that could be a great story.
As it's progressing down the line, I don't know. I don't see Cody winning.
No, I don't either.
I still can.
I can't have him lose 2 WrestleManias in a year in a row and say, I meant next year I'll finish the story, or story was I lost again. No,
can't drag it on much longer.
Here's the thing. I'll put it out like this to you guys. If Cody loses, Cody will lose night 1 anyway, because they put bloodline rules out there. We're getting bloodline rules. Do you think then he will lose the next night as well? Because it's the way they set up, you lose the first night, but then afterwards you bounce back the second night. It's Avengers. That's why I said it's like the Avengers. Avengers Infinity War. Spoiler alert, everyone. Sorry if you like the Avengers and Marvel and you haven't seen it yet, but it's been 6 years, okay? They lose in Infinity War to Thanos and The Rock is Thanos. And in Endgame they fix it, you know?
It's all right. Adam normally tells us wrestling's fake, so we're all right here at the moment.
I don't see Cody losing. I don't think that Triple H will do him dirty like that. And he is their guy, you know. He is going to be that guy that takes the mantle forward. I can, however, see The Rock at some point potentially beating Cody for the title and then taking it from him. I can see that.
Interesting. But like we say, I'm just glad we don't know what's going to happen. That's what all these possibilities and theories we've all got going on. It's just great. It's a great time to be a wrestling fan. I like it.
It is. It really is.
We deserve it after the years we've had, I think, with Voldemort.
Just imagine as well. Sorry, just imagine what things would have been like this whole time Triple H was in charge. Yeah. How much things would have made sense? How many people wouldn't have been released and then afterwards, off over in AEW? It could have been whole different, So many talented stars as well. But like, here's what it is. Everything works out in the end.
Yeah, we've got it now, so we can enjoy it. And then Tony, I'll come to you with one of the guys who's been impressing lately on Raw, Ricochet. That was some move to perform that Canadian Destroyer when he popped up off the arm thing, and then gets the win against old Big Ed. I know we spoke about it last week with Ricochet and that, but is this just like a flash in the pan for him, or is he going to propel this momentum into and after WrestleMania?
I mean, I'd like to think he would, but then he's just a trickster. That's all he is at the moment. There's no real meat to the bones. He's doing all these great moves like that one, the shooting star press, the standing up one, things like that. But I don't see it leading anywhere at the moment. He's just something to woo the crowd. So like if he had a singles ladder match or something, just throw him in there. He's got no real
story.
No real story, and it's sad because he is a good wrestler. He is really, really good, and he deserves a title of some sort, or a big push into maybe the US title on SmackDown, or do you know what I mean? Something like that. I don't know, to be honest, but yeah, I can't see him going anywhere else apart from that. But it was a good match. I enjoyed it. Anything with Dominic Mysterio in, I think he's great. I know there's a few people in here who don't like him, but I think he's entertaining. I think he does the job of what he needs to do. He gets people to hate him, and I think they've obviously used him, which we'll probably go on to, but used him quite well in the Rhea and Becky thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it was a good match. A good match.
Cool. And then we had.
I like this. Sorry, can I just say
Yeah,
in
go
that
for it.
match?
Yeah.
In that match, you know, like JD's seen as the sort of jobber for the Judgment Day.
Yeah.
He sort of stood out. So do you know what, people don't realize how good a wrestler he is?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good.
Because he's good in NXT when he was James Devlin and
Yeah.
in the UK.
Yeah.
But main roster guys don't see it. But seeing him actually having a good match, he could pull off quite a few matches like that after Mania.
Yeah.
I just also want to quickly say as well, with Ricochet and JD, phenomenal match. By the way, phenomenal match. But it's just something that was just mentioned about Ricochet just being sort of like a trickster and not really having much of a story. He kind of does have a story in the way that he's just pestering the Judgment Day, and they're pissed off that no one can sort of swat him away and like beat him, and he's causing issues for them. And it's sort of stemmed from the gauntlet match, and everything, as I said earlier with Triple H, kind of just like spikes off, and you can do multiple different things, and kind of builds towards stuff and lets things flow rather than just one linear direction. I feel like I kind of mentioned this in the comment section last week, but I could potentially see Judgment Day getting Andrade to sort of take on Ricochet, potentially. Maybe they might have an exhibition match at WrestleMania. They might not. They could do something eventually, but I feel like their paths will cross over at some point. But with Judgment Day talking to Andrade and doing all that stuff in the background, I could see them trying to get him to take care of their Ricochet problem, potentially. Because JD couldn't do it, Dom couldn't do it, Finn and Damien are occupied with the tag titles, so why not call Andrade for a favor, you know?
Could see. And then we moved on to another promo, which was obviously.
I love the promos.
Yeah, this was probably, if we had the first part of the show was brilliant, that promo, this one just
took it to a whole nother level.
It was just unscripted, full on CM Punk, full on Drew, full on Seth. I'll go to you, Adam, first. I'm going to go to each one of you because it was such an epic promo. What was your thoughts and feelings on all three of them, basically?
Yeah, so like we've kind of touched on, I think the fact it felt, as you said, real, felt unscripted, felt organic. You know, I love the fact when I think Drew said I was a chosen one, and Punk's like, chosen by who? Come on then, say his name, go on then. You know, like that would never have been scripted, I don't think. They never would have said that. And, you know, it just feels naughty. It just feels, I'll tell you what it reminds me of. Not quite Attitude Era, but for those of you, you know, nearer sort of my age, just before the Attitude Era, we'd have like Brett and Sean going back and pushing the envelope and little sort of insider references, insider jokes. So it's kind of, you know, early, mid-97, when things were just getting a bit edgier, or just, you know, loosening the reins a bit, just pushing the envelope a little bit more. And yeah, it was one of those you kind of didn't want it to end. You know, it's very rare you do that with a promo, but you're enjoying it. You're sat there with your popcorn, you know, metaphorically or perhaps literally, depending how you watch, and just enjoying it, taking it in, and you know, it felt really good. It was enjoyable. And the only thing I would say is, it's not pushing to Punk versus Drew at WrestleMania. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
You know, special guest commentator, whatever he is, you know, who gives a shit. You know, I know obviously it might lead to something else, but yeah, it's just a shame that Punk's not able to wrestle, because even if that was a triple threat match, maybe for the title, might have been pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. Jake, what was your thoughts on it?
It was really good. That I thought. I saw something online saying that, I know it was unscripted as well, but apparently overtook everything. It was meant to cut it short, but it was a bit longer than he was meant to. So that could probably explain why it was most of it was unscripted. And up to, if we're going to mention up to when the Drew came out, but just stole the whole promo, to be honest, between all of them.
Yeah, and Owen, what was your thoughts on it? Did Drew come across strong or weak in that promo, do you reckon?
I think he came across strong. I loved the bit when he referenced the Eminem song Stan, and then he got super kicked by Seth Rollins. I found that hilarious. It was great.
That was good. George, what was your thoughts on it? Was CM Punk back to his best on the mic?
Yeah, I really liked Punk, to be fair, like especially like what Adam said with when he was trying to get him to say about who chose him. I was kind of hoping he would say it, but he bottled it. But yeah, I quite liked it. For those who don't watch AEW, that was proper Punk, even what done on there. So it was quite good, to be fair. And it's probably my favourite segment of the whole Raw show, to be fair.
And Abdi, would you have preferred? Could he have been a special guest referee?
I kind of wanted to see that. Just the pure fact of it. It feels like '97 SummerSlam with Shawn as the special guest referee against with like Bret Hart and Undertaker, and having to count the pin when it was Bret Hart pinning the Undertaker. It would have been cool, but I guess not. But it definitely, there's a lot of intrigue now between the CM Punk and Drew McIntyre route, more than the Seth Rollins route, which was kind of ironic because everyone kind of wanted that first. But I think we'll get both eventually, and I think Drew will be the first one as soon as Punk is medically cleared to come back. Whether that's ahead of schedule, whether that's not, we'll see. Probably summertime, SummerSlam. I could see it possibly if Punk is ready by then, and hopefully, and maybe for the World Heavyweight title. And if Drew stays, which is still to this point unknown, even today I was reading that hasn't signed yet, but everyone's still optimistic. Same with Becky apparently. But yeah, as for the whole thing, fantastic. Love the digs, love the references. It just felt off the cuff. It felt like everyone was just bringing their A game, just shooting bullets at each other, and everyone was. I don't think anyone looked weak whatsoever. I think everyone looked strong. I think everyone got their stuff in. Punk with the AJ reference and him being good with his mouth and stuff was not expecting that, but respect to the fella, and then I love the whole goading him to try and say who's the chosen one thing like everyone else. Apparently there was a hush backstage when Punk went down that route. I just imagine everyone would be like, oh no, don't do that. But yeah, and I hope everyone acted like grown adults afterwards, because you want to make the best product possible. You got to be prepared to take some hits and give them out. So fantastic, and I feel like 500,000 people tuned in just to see that, and it took the rating up to like 2.2 million or something. So it was just, everyone was like, we have to watch this. We have to watch this. But yeah, it was fantastic. I loved it.
I did like when I think it was Punk kept saying to Drew about wearing a skirt.
Yeah.
And then Drew fed him in by saying
It's 2024.
not to be homophobic, essentially.
I love
Drew calling the cameraman a pervert.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I love it when he says that. Don't shoot up my skirt, you pervert. Craig, what did you make?
Sorry, go on.
Sorry, have you gone?
No, I forgot what I was about to say. If I remember, I'll say it.
Craig, what did you make of Punk referencing Roman Reigns as well? I didn't see that one coming, but he mentioned they might meet down the line.
Completely come out of nowhere. Potentially could maybe set something up there, but I think the main focus is Seth and Drew. I think at the minute. I mean, I was absolutely gone when Seth was like, that's his counting arm, and he just dropped, and you knew that wasn't script. That was just him. Started counting, and then for me it was Drew when he just got his arms out, feet back, going, new champion. I was just absolutely gone. It just felt like a real promo. They were just told, go out there, say what you want, do what you want. And every single one of them looked strong. Like none of them, Drew didn't. Drew literally just put his feet up. It's like he was watching the show like a fan.
I love that.
And just got to throw out a few insults and a few words here and there. Went in the ring and got bloody kicked to the face and then stomped. So, but he's still come away strong from that. I mean, as you go on later, and I thought it was amazing. I thought it was such a really, really good promo.
I remembered what I wanted to quickly say. There was one line where Seth said to CM Punk, Do you want to know what I think about you? And then he was just like, nope.
No.
Just shook his head, nope. I don't care. And his reaction when Seth came out as well, fell to his knees and started banging the microphone to his head.
It's brilliant.
Just-
This is
It
the
was
punk.
all beautiful.
This is the punk we want, isn't it? It's the guy.
It felt like that as well. Yeah.
Tariq, what was your thoughts on it?
I thought it was a 10 out of 10 segment, the whole thing from start to finish. I mean, the start was getting Punk coming out, and because it's in his home state, and getting all the what he wanted to say out of the way. So slagging off everyone. So going from Rock from 10 years ago saying your arm's not big enough to fight God or whatever the comment was. That was fantastic. Roman Reigns, he mentioned other things from the past, and it's like, just say what you want. But the star of the show, like everyone said, was Drew. It's like his personalities before have been psychopath, a guy with a sword, and so on. And there's nothing, but it's like he's got that witty comment as well. And it's fantastic, like the guys have said about the pervert comment and how he said about other things. But the one I liked were when he said to Punk that for someone who's drug-free and drink-free,
that was a good one.
That's fantastic.
That was a good one.
But like everyone said, it was authentic, and it's like just what they said: do what you want. You've got this amount of time. Just say what you want and get the hook in. And everyone played the part to it, which was fantastic. So a 10 out of 10.
Did you guys see when McIntyre went to is it Mendy's, the cafe?
Oh yeah.
Mendy's, yes.
Yeah.
That was funny as hell, man.
I had a feeling he'd do that. And as soon as he went there, I was like, they're closed on Monday, so unfortunately. Because I remember that's the thing. Like, you look on Google, it's like Monday and Tuesdays they're closed. I wish they were open though. That would have been brilliant.
It would have been great to see what he's done. And Tony, finally, what's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I thought it was really good. I mean, sometimes less is more, but this was really good. They exchanged it like everyone's just said. They exchanged like back and forward, and it seemed really real. It wasn't scripted. It seemed like it wasn't scripted, and you could see that genuinely there was. It looked like there was real hatred between them, and it weren't scripted. Drew, I think for me, where I think not many people realise, but when he sat on the actual announce table, he was replicating how CM Punk sat when he did the pipe bomb. He's sitting there, So he's sitting there, and he at the moment when he come out with a t-shirt on, and then he took his t-shirt off, and then he had another one underneath. I was expecting him to take that off and have another one underneath, because he was wearing the white CM Punk one, weren't he, during the day?
Yeah.
Then he had DM Hunk on it, and the thing is, he's got to sign his new deal. He's got to sign it because he's doing the best work he is at the moment. I think I can see him winning the belt at WrestleMania as well.
Yeah.
Yep, and then I think obviously there's only one match that we're going to see after that, which will be CM Punk when he's better against Drew McIntyre. Yeah, so I think the segment, again, I think someone said it was possibly 10 out of 10, that segment. Yeah, near perfect. It
was great. And then, is anybody else, sorry, did someone want to say it?
I said agreed.
Yep. And then, sorry, go on.
I didn't know whether to drop this to the panel or not, but if CM Punk does have like a special guest referee or something, who do you think he would more likely screw up? Punk, Seth, or Drew? If it's
Seth, I would say as well.
Yeah.
I don't think neither, because it's just he said it himself. He couldn't be an impartial referee with both of them. Like he hates both of them equally. So I that's kind of why he's not really ref. I would have loved to see the dynamic though. But it's hard to decide on that.
It reminds me of, do you know, in the Attitude Era, there was a match with Triple H and British Bulldog, and The Rock was the referee.
Love that.
For anyone, and it was like, at the end, it's like
the people slide.
Awesome.
Was that the one who got bottomed him in dog poo?
I'm not sure. There's one where he had the mic in it, and he was like, 1, 2. It doesn't matter if the Rock.
I'd literally done that to someone as special guest referee on 2K24.
Yeah.
I just walked away.
So we're done. And then, we went on to Candice. I'll touch on it quickly. She, was pushing with her heel turn. She's faking an injury. As bad as the Man City players, I might add.
Let's go, Candice.
I had to throw that in. Sorry, Jake.
Ow.
But yeah, she acted quite well. It was Carl Walker-esque. Tariq, just quickly touching on it, is this still what you want to see from her, pushing on that Poison Pixie sort of heel turn?
Yeah, sort of, but it was like, because it's rushed because of the segment beforehand. I sort of think that there was really no need for it to be on the show, because that would have been overrun, and they were like, should have said, right, we'll leave it for next week, because it was like proper rushed. And I think with a feigning injury, it was that indie sort of decisive or undecisive. What should I do? You sort of thought, what was the point of it? I can see where they go in terms of they want to rush the storyline along, so after Mania they start the proper full-on heel turn team and everything. But it just felt like there was no need for it on the show, so you can't really give it a knock, because they're probably told you've got 2 minutes, just do something, like the old Diva days.
I felt like it done its job in terms of just it got the message across of what it was trying to convey, and if it ran over time this week in terms of the CM Punk stuff, imagine what's going to happen when you got Rock and Roman on the show next week. You know, to be fair, it's a 3-hour show, so it doesn't really matter in terms of overruns and all this stuff. So they're more flexible as well on USA than they are on Fox.
But I do agree with Tariq in the terms. It always seems to be the women's matches that suffer with the time.
Unfortunately.
It always seems to be them. Like with the Undertaker's entrance, it always used to be the women's matches after. So then we went on to probably one of the best bits of commentary all night. Our truth on commentary, something I want to see more of, definitely. And that was the match with, was it New Day and DIY, and there was interference from Judgment Day, and obviously the Miz jumps in. It's obviously just setting out for this huge tag team match that we're going to have. We still don't know the last two. Is it 2 teams with 2 spots left?
Two spots left, and it will be either Street Profits or Waller and Theory, or is it LWO?
Yeah.
No, it's one of them and
Phantasma.
Legado, Legado, and who's the New Catch Republic? Yeah. So it'll probably be New Catch Republic and Grayson and Theory.
Yeah. And it must be interesting to see that match. It'll be quite a good match of Mania. And then Andrade had his match against Vinci. I go to George. What do you make of Andrade? He's potentially being, tapped up for the Judgment Day, or is that all just a bit of a ruse, basically, for him to just go in there or possibly take over Judgment Day? Because I know someone mentioned that last week. I don't know if it was Adam or someone said it potentially could go in there and be the top face of Judgment Day. Is that something you would like to see, or would you prefer to see him on his own?
I'd like to see him on his own, to be fair. I think the Judgment Day stuff's just like, he's just passive in the long, really, until they find something. Like Abdi said, what they might do is put Andrade, doing Judgment Day a favour. But I would like to see Andrade get a bit of a push, like, on his own.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever, he didn't get it in AEW that much. So it'd be nice. I don't think he'll get pushed in time for WrestleMania, but I could see him maybe being one of the competitors with, say, Money in the Bank or something like that. I think Judgment Day is an interesting one because, it feels like Damien Priest has had that flipping briefcase for about 20 years. And, he's had more failed attempts to cash in than he's walking past the bank. So yeah, I don't know. I don't see him taking over from Damien Priest yet, unless something happens at, say, Mania, and we all know what happens at Raw after Mania, something like that. Maybe if something goes wrong and Priest turns on the others, blames them for a defeat or something.
Could be. Priest seems to be, he's obviously the standout star of the group, other than Finn Balor, I would say. So it'd be interesting to see who he cashes in on. Could cash on Cody the night after Raw. That would be quite something, wouldn't it, Abdi?
Let's hope not. Let's hope not. I'm kind of at that weird place with Damien. I would have rather him cashed in a little earlier, but He's holding on to it. I don't know if he's going to be successful at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I still see him cussing in on Drew, what I said last week, with the 10-minute thing that Drew has, and then if he
Imagine
wins,
CM Punk costume, that could be something.
Be interesting. And then we had obviously the picture of the night. Boom, right on the jaw.
Perfect.
Have some of that, son.
Beautiful.
Everybody in that
Perfection.
arena, I think, loved that. Adam, was this the promo that we needed from Rhea Ripley and Becky? The rawness of bringing in kids involved and stuff like that. It's just what we needed to get their story progressing.
I think so, and certainly, just a confrontation between just them going face to face, nose to nose, kind of like they referenced in the promo. Getting, Becky getting Rhea's attention and Rhea getting Becky's attention, and no other people involved. No Nia Jax, no Liv Morgan, no Judgment Day. Really, I know Dom was there, okay, but yeah, it was real. It was intention, like we've been saying all night about the promos. It was good. It was interesting. It was engrossing. You felt it. It feels like a real disagreement between two people. And the smacking Dominic's jaw looked really cool.
Yeah, it was very true. I just love how the crowd react when there's a rawness to it, and they bring in kids or someone's mum, as we talk about a bit later. But it just feels like with the crowd, with the reaction of the ooh, it's just like being in school. When two guys are having an argument.
Your mum's this, your mum's that. Yeah.
It just makes it that. Owen, what did you make of it? Did you think Becky looked quite strong in that promo because she showed pure raw emotion?
Yeah, definitely. And also, obviously, at the bit after as well, where she jumped over the steps and got Rhea and Dom at the same time as well. I thought it was a great segment again.
Definitely what them two needed to get their feud a bit more elevated. Anybody else have any more thoughts on the segment?
I liked the bit after with the Pat McAfee just mocking the punch.
That's great. I hope he's there after Mania, but I'm guessing he won't be. But yeah, it's interesting.
I think he's supposed to be.
Is he? I thought it was just.
I think he's still. No, he's there for the long haul. I'd say probably till whenever college football starts again, which is probably like September time. So we'll see. But I think he's supposed to be there for a while.
And then we moved into another match. We had Sami Zayn versus Bronson Reed. I was quite surprised Sami lost this match. Craig, what was your thoughts? And I know he had words with Chad Gable before and after. It looked like Chad's now going to take him under his wing. Was you surprised to see him lose?
I think I called this last week. Was it last week or the week before?
Yeah, you did. Yeah,
I saw Chad being like his mentor or something. I was a little bit surprised because you kind of see most people, they build you up by winning matches before you go into like Mania or whatever. But at the same time, I wasn't, because of how he's like doubting himself, how Chad keeps talking to him about, you need to have this different mentality. I was surprised, but I wasn't, if that kind of makes sense. But I definitely think, he's going to mentor him. And whether he turns on him or not, or whether he throws it back in his face or whatnot, or like, you owe me a title shot, like if he does beat Gunther, it'll kind of be like, look, I pretty much won you that title. I think you owe me, and we could see Sami and Chad down the line, I think.
Cool. Is anybody else surprised to see Sami lose so close to Mania?
No, not
a little bit.
I think it's like one where Chad Gable's been saying that Gunther plays with your mind. So you can have a physical match with him, but it's the mind games. So Gunther coming out with his belt and being mocking him, it sort of threw him off his scent. And especially one where he didn't have his attention on Bronson. And Bronson, when he went for the haluva kick, Bronson knocked him over, did the Santon on him. And it was like, it showcased Bronson as well, because I sort of think what happened is Zayn will win the title at Mania, and Bronson could be a challenger, not straight away, because it might be Gable, but they're building Bronson as that big monster. And he's athletic as well. Yeah. So he can be that challenger for Zayn's title. So SummerSlam time or Money in the Bank.
Cool. Abdi, did you want to touch on that?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I was a little bit surprised, but in the sense of the story where they're trying to take it, similar to what others have been saying, it makes sense. Just with Gunter not really, Gunter's that guy. Let's just put it like that. He's just that guy. He don't break a sweat. He looks at Sami Zayn and he's like, "You look like food. I'm gonna play with you at Mania," and then afterwards walk out and continue my reign as the longest reigning Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion. As for Sami Zayn, he's that underdog. You know, we've heard it before. He's gritty. He finds a way to win. But as I mentioned with the Triple H thing, stories always building different things. Bronson Reed winning also helps him eventually to be like, hey, I beat the number one contender for the Intercontinental Championship. I won a title shot. Like potentially it'll be post Mania because you know we're that close. Probably first. I don't know. I still don't see Sami winning. I still see Gunter retaining. I feel like we might get a situation where Chad maybe throws in the towel or something, where Sami doesn't want to give up and he does it for his own good, or something along those lines that could split off, or I don't know. But I feel like eventually we'll get Chad and Gunter at some point. I know a lot of people are disappointed about him getting like shafted for the Mania match, but then again, I feel like I don't see Gunter losing at the moment. So if you want to have Chad Gable versus Gunter, you really want to see Gunter beat Chad Gable again. That's the only thing. That's the if Chad Gable's winning, then sure, but I don't see Gunter losing.
Abdi calling for the Rocky IV Austin Creed.
Yes, it literally is that. He is Apollo. Sami Zayn is Apollo Creed. Gunter is Ivan Drago. He's gonna kill him. Not literally, but he's gonna kill him. And then afterwards, Chad Gable's gonna be Rocky.
I'd be interested to know how many people in here think Sami is actually going to win it or Gunther retains. And
Yeah,
definitely
Gunther
Gunther.
retains.
Sammy.
Yeah.
Gunther.
Interesting.
I thought Chad Gable was going to win. If it was Chad Gable versus Gunther, I would have voted Chad, but
Yeah,
I'm quite split on this one. I can't really decide. I know that's a bit rubbish and a bit chicken.
Bashing Berlin.
I'm sitting on the fence, but go on. If pushed, I'll go Gunther retains.
All I think that might happen as well, that they could turn it into a triple threat maybe with Gable, Zayn, and Gunther.
I think it's a little late in the day now. I don't think it makes any sense.
Yeah.
Maybe it back to the Berlin.
Yeah, like Rocky IV. You go to his homeland and you beat him there. You know, it's still a ways away.
Montage in the mountains of Sami and training.
Somewhere in the German mountains or something. But it's still like that's end of August, you know. So it's like far away. But who knows? Who knows?
And then I think Mr. Tom's made a great comment here. There's more chance of Sheffield United beating the Drop than Zayn beating Gunther. So you can see where he's put his allegiance right there. And then we went into the last match, the main event. It was Jey Uso versus Nakamura. Quite a short match. And then we had everybody just pile in. Jey gets the win, which obviously helps him, and he's the way they're building him at the moment for this year. And then we cut to backstage, and boy, oh boy, wasn't this another great promo? We could call it a promo fight. Yeah, what do you think, boy? What do you think, boy? The Rock was I'm actually quite surprised he kept his sunglasses on for the whole of that. But yeah, the trash cans were out, everything was out, and then I don't know about you, but I thought he was going to fry him off the bridge.
Yeah, for a second I was worried.
Is it wrong that I wanted to see it?
I wanted to see it as well. I wanted a Stone Cold going over the bridge back in the day. It was
just look at the depth and it's like, oh no, that's a bit too much.
Yeah. I'll just go through each and every one of it because I know you might want to say a piece on it. So I'll start with you, Jake. What did you make of it? The Rock he looked like a menace, the boss, didn't he? He was just.
Yeah, after that he felt like the final boss more than Reigns is. With all the effing and jeffing he did as well. I think we were talking in the group chat before about when the trash cans were thrown. Is that the movement in 2K24? Yeah, that's what it felt like.
Promoting it.
But yeah, I think it was really good. I think that was sort of obviously the effing and jeffing wasn't scripted, but I think when The Rock interfered, I think that was just completely unscripted. But yeah, Andy kept on his sunglasses for some apparent reason, and yeah. But yeah, I really enjoyed that promo.
Adam, what did you make of it with the blood and everything, with the belt, and it was just cinema?
Yeah, I'll tell you what that was. That was Wrestling 101. That invoked emotion. That wasn't this is awesome, fight forever. Both these guys, that was, oh shit, someone's getting the shit kicked out of them. Sorry to keep saying shit on the show. That's lots of fines we're getting now. You kind of felt bad. You wanted someone to rescue Cody. You wanted, Cody to get away. You wanted someone to stop it. There was nothing cool about The Rock there. He was just a big bad bully, a big bad guy. I don't know, maybe he kept his sunglasses on. Maybe that's what a cool villain does. But yeah, that for me was Pro Wrestling 101. It invoked emotion. It made you care. It made you feel bad for Cody. It made you feel angry with The Rock. And it made you want to pay to see, unfortunately, which you might not see, you want to pay to see Cody kick The Rock's ass.
True. Owen, what was your thoughts on it? Did it make Cody, obviously made him look now, obviously the superhero, everyone's gonna be rooting for him after that?
Oh, definitely, yeah. I just think the addition of the rain outside as well made it look so much more better than it probably would have been if it was no rain or anything. But I loved it as probably the best ending to a Raw in I don't know how many years. Definitely the best up there.
And I know, George, obviously we know with your site and stuff, what was it like to hear that sort of thing on an audio description? I can only imagine what it was being described to you as. It must be a different level as well for yourself.
Yeah, I do have to disagree with Adam. It says he want it to stop. I did not want it to stop. No, it was interesting. Like referring back to when they had the showdown thing earlier in the episode. Like, come on, Rock, Cody. There are blind people watching it. Give us something. I actually made myself jump twice because I thought like the video had stopped, so I had to. But no, it was really, really good. Like, just I wouldn't have wanted to get up like that. Not that I want to get beat up, but not like that. It just reminded me of years ago, like one of those segments. So it was really, really good. I just like The Rock like that. I didn't feel sorry for Cody at all, to be honest.
He just hates Cody.
Getting a beat.
Not even it's just I prefer Rock.
I think Abdi, I know he was using his bus, and there was a dog on there. At one point, I really wanted him to put his head in the dog or do something, just whack him on the dog. And
don't mess with Pharaoh, bro.
But obviously, as a big Cody fan, I won't call you a crybaby. We'll wait till after Mania. But what did you make of it, seeing your boy get handled?
Look at you now, boy. Look at you now, boy. I loved it. I loved every second of it. You know why I loved it? Because Cody loved it. The brother got to bleed. He's been waiting for. Brother's itching. He's been itching. It's been 2 years since he bled. He wanted this. He needed this. He felt that energy. He felt alive again. Let The Rock beat the shit out of him if he wants to beat the shit out of him. It was beautiful to watch. It was enjoyable. It was one of the best segments I've seen in a long time. And The Rock just felt like just that guy. He just don't mess with him. He literally just beat the piss out of you. And that's exactly what he done to Cody. He made him bleed. He got his blood and wiped on his weight belt that said Mama Rhodes on it, which was, just pure genius by The Rock. His comeuppance will come eventually, but listen, it's exactly what this thing needed. It gave it the jolt in the arm. It builds up more anticipation, hype level, and the energy coming out from Raw afterwards from everyone was just universal, just through the roof. It just added to what was already like a great show. So fantastic ending. I just want to quickly circle back beforehand in terms of just the beatdown. I love that Drew came out and just like, nah. You ain't hit stomping me out earlier and then get involved this year. I'm coming to beat you up and you're getting that receipt. just drops him with a fuse shock on the floor, essentially. I don't know what Jay was doing though. He was just chilling, brother. Like
Yeah, he
no
was
one
just sitting
touched
there.
him. I don't know what he was doing. But I did see like there was like fan footage of like Jey Uso and Seth Rollins just casually walking to the back afterwards while Cody just getting the beat and the shit beat out of him, which is funny. I was just like, that's kind of funny. But for the whole thing, it added and elevated everything, and yeah, it was top tier. More of that, please.
Craig, what was your thoughts on that?
Well, going back to what was said at the beginning, it was a complete wank fest, weren't it? I just think of the South Park Randy at the computer covered in ectoplasm.
Craig's into, you know?
Well, I'm into watching grown men beat the utter shit out of each other. It was brilliant. It felt like the old days. It was just, he beat him like a drum. Like George, you didn't want it to stop. Like, what more could he do to him? Like you said, you know, rubbing the blood in the dog, something, you know, like proper. You know, he was pretty much getting his mum involved. Why not get the dog involved as well? I just thought it was really, really good. It made The Rock look strong, like this final boss going into WrestleMania. You know, Cody bounces back from this. Do we see the tables turn and Cody maybe attack The Rock? Maybe not, because of them trying to make him look like the final boss. But even if it's just a brawl, like not battering him, but, you know, just like a big old brawl, because isn't he meant to be on Raw again this month? I don't know if he's on SmackDown.
Brooklyn, yeah.
Not, but
you never know with his thing. He can just show up if he wants now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So I thought it was great. Like, you know, one of the best endings to Raw in I don't even know how long, to be completely honest with you. Really good. It's good to kind of have that feel back. You know, this is what we've wanted now for a while, and it feels like we're finally getting it.
I reckon the dog's going to be special guest referee.
Let's go there.
Special enforcer, special enforcer ringside. Yeah.
Tariq, what was your thoughts?
To be honest, it's like an episode like that, you know, where you can watch from start to finish, and it makes you think. Like at the end, you think, yeah, that reminds me of it, and then that reminds me of sort of like the first showdown at the start. You think, what's going on? Then there was the Paul Heyman and Drew talk in the backstage segment. You think, what's going on there? And that's, you think, is it? He said we're going to attack Cody at the end, so we want you to help, or was it like Abby said, the receipt to Seth? Was it that? But the thing I liked most is when The Rock came and started beating up Cody and throwing him about. It was like old school Attitude Era throwing about. No, don't give a toss about throwing. I mean, fighting when they do backstage segments, it's like powder puff punches and so on. But with The Rock, it's like you felt it yourself. You thought, oh my God, that must have hurt. And he's throwing
He
stuff.
was launching him, weren't he?
Yeah. And he threw it. I think there's one where he threw him like from the side into that gate barrier, and he was like trying to Cody was trying to control himself. It was like, wow. But he, like Abdi was saying, like his references, it reminded me of the Avengers, like Thanos beating up Tony Stark.
Yeah.
It was like so unfair. But it was like some of the parts were on this cinematic was fantastic, because it was like when he's beating him up, it also showed the production truck of Cena and Austin on it, so Rock's two biggest rivals, and it just made me think that was like fantastic seeing that. But it was like
it's happening.
Yeah, like
it's happening.
Yeah, he's
coming. Tell you, the Avengers are assembling. Trust me.
Yeah, it's happening. That's not a coincidence.
No, it's not. It's a spoiler, not a prediction.
Sorry, go on to it.
Like Abdul was saying, it's like Cody needed that moment. It's a standout thing, and it does. Going back to Austin, it's like when Austin bled in the sharpshooter and all that. Yeah, that was his moment where he sort of became a star. This could be Cody's moment where he sort of goes from being that politician type main eventer to being a badass.
Yeah. And Tony, lastly, what was your thoughts on that whole?
I mean, for me, these two guys get it. They get it. They understand what they had to do, what they did, and they went out and they literally just went for it all. I think this is The Rock at his best. I think Cody is better when he's the underdog, and I think this part is where he's playing it, where he's the best, where he's going to cut. I don't think he's going to win at WrestleMania. I think he's going to lose both nights. But I like the part where The Rock commented saying, "This is what happens when you F with the final boss."
Yeah.
And it literally, at that point, it was like everybody in the arena was like, "Oh, he didn't just say that." It was like, he's like this massive, massive star that he can't beat. He can't beat him. And I think that what could have made it even better, I think, where someone referenced his white dog. If he got the blood off of Cody and wiped it on the dog, at that precise second, the door is the truck door opened, and his wife comes out, and should have just picked him up, like grabbed him, cuddled him, and The Rock could have said something and screamed in her face. Then that would have added a bit more element to it, I think. But then obviously during the week there was a tweet she tweeted out something, and so did Dustin as well.
Yeah.
So it just makes you think: is Tony Khan going to let him come over?
I doubt. Unfortunately, I doubt it.
Of course, he's not.
He's a piece of shit.
But how good would that be, though? How good would that be? That would be amazing.
He did have that thing on Twitter. Sorry, Tony.
Maybe that's what Rock said to Cody. By the way, your brother's not Tony.
I don't. Just one of the bits I don't know if you guys saw. You know when The Rock took him out the door and he was just like, "Oh, Chicago, you wasn't happy The Rock didn't say anything. You can kiss my ass, bitches," or something like that.
Brother was on Twitter. Listen, that guy's on Twitter. He's reading everything. He's seeing everything. Because everyone's pissed off saying, "Why didn't he say anything? Come on, he came all this way, didn't say a word." Brother was on Twitter. He knows. He knows what he's doing.
Well, John Cena, like I know, obviously I didn't know about the picture things, but I was thinking, obviously, when I've seen at WrestleMania, and he's got drama with the bloodline already, so I don't see interfering in the Roman Cody match.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk of them trying to get like the likes of Cena, Austin, Hogan, Taker, all sort of in and involved with WrestleMania as a whole, just in general.
What, you meant just the main event? I was like,
no, just in general as a whole.
just a portal opens on your left, and they all just start coming out. Yeah.
All from just different things.
So that was your Raw.
You know what would be cool? Sorry, just quick thing.
Yeah,
it never happened. But what would have been cool was all the people that Roman's beaten just come out one by one and just take turns doing their finisher on him.
Like a gauntlet of finishers. Yeah.
Just everyone just spamming their finishers. It'll be funny, but you haven't got Cesaro and Danielson, so it's like, you know.
Edge.
And Edge, yeah.
Half the AEW main event roster come out if we want to do that.
If you could get those for it would be funny if like the BCC comes out with Edge, because then afterwards you have Mox as well, just for the bands. Why not?
He's like when just about to beat Harry, and Harry Potter and all the people he's killed come out the wand.
Yeah. Just like
that was your Raw for this week, guys. I'll just run around and grab a quick rating off each and every one of you. Jake?
Is there a rating over 10? No, I just think it's 11 out of 10.
Is it 10s all round, so we'll just make this easier?
Yeah, definitely 10.
Yeah, why not? No, why not?
Definitely better than any other Raw you can see.
It was a Dylan Just show.
Yeah, I think obviously with the Rhea Becky segment, with the Drew, Seth, and CM Punk, and obviously at the end with that, I think at the beginning with that, then with the Rock and Cody, and I think obviously with a couple of decent matches in there, 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Felt like a Raw. It had the energy of like a Raw after Mania, you know? Kind of had that sort of energy, but it wasn't the Raw after Mania. It was the penultimate Raw before Mania. And the go-home shows and all this stuff that they're doing usually suck, but these ones are, you know, hitting. Let's see how it does in Brooklyn next week, because that's going to be a top crowd as well. And just a shout-out, 11 straight TV sellouts. 11. Beautiful. Let's keep it going.
So we want to say, with no empty arenas here. So we'll touch on. We just got a couple more seconds before we end. I know the time pushing on. Craig, this is your new segment. I'll play you a little intro, and then away you go.
I really want to hear that song again. That was quite catchy. Apologies for if anyone knows this. If it's not massive, it's my first one. So my fact of the week. Did you know that the World Heavyweight title was once defended by a woman? Does anybody know who?
China?
Yes, I think it was. Oh no, because it was in 2010, 9 sort of. It was like Michelle McCool, Layla.
You'll remember
someone like that.
Close.
It was for Edge, wasn't it?
So
it was for Edge.
In 2011 SmackDown episode. Edge,
Kelly,
Vicky Guerrero. She was GM. She forced Edge to defend in a 2-on-3 handicap match. Him teaming with Kelly.
Yeah, it was Kelly.
Yeah, and Layla and Michelle McCool teaming with Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah.
If Edge used his finisher, the spear, or Layla or McCool pinned Kelly, he lost the title.
Yeah.
And it was actually Kelly who speared Layla, winning the match, therefore defending the World Heavyweight title.
Yeah.
That is my fact of the week.
That's Craig's fact of the week.
Brilliant fact of the week. I love that one. That's a good one.
I've got a few WrestleMania edition ones for next week.
Wicked.
Nice one.
And then we're going to move into our news as well.
All right, first off, Fightful Select is reporting that Pete Dunne was, I don't know if you know that WWE Speed thing on Twitter or X, whatever it's called now, but he actually did he produced some of the matches. He produced Cedric Alexander's match with Odyssey Jones, and then he did the Angel Garza's match with his comrade Tyler Bate. That with Pete Dunne's comrade Tyler Bate. He produced that match as well, which is that I thought was pretty good. I don't know if you guys want to share your opinions about that, but yeah. The next one is that you've probably seen it on SmackDown that Nick Aldis was in an arm brace. Well, he had a recent bicep injury stemmed from a freak accident that he had surgery on, and he sustained an arm injury of sorts, and we confirmed on Twitter as well. You've probably seen the video of him doing it, and yeah. But the next story that I think someone touched about WrestleMania, that Stone Cold, The Undertaker, and John Cena might be getting involved with WrestleMania, as we saw with the truck. That there was a other thing about they changed it next day. It was Charlotte and someone else, so it could be someone's mistake in the back, but that obviously with Austin and Cena might be getting involved with Roman or something like that. And then this was a cool, really cool thing that I saw, that with the thing with Cody Rhodes and Roman, that we could see Matt Cardona come back, or aka Zack Ryder, which should be cool. That someone asked Matt Cardona a question, saying if he's going to be involved, and there's the answer. If you need help, my help. And then hopefully you could see it, but this isn't really anything to do with WWE or anything, but we could see them at WrestleMania, possibly, in the ladder tag team match that Alex Selby and Chris Sabin officially set to become free agents. I just want to see if you guys want your opinions on that, if they will go anywhere else, or are they too old to wrestle, or what do you guys reckon?
They're not too old to wrestle. I think they can still continue and will be a good addition to any tag team roster in whichever company. I feel like AEW will probably be the more expected landing spot in terms of where they'd go, but they could also just work the indies. If they go WWE, I could see them potentially doing some coaching work potentially, because Alex Shelley has had a slight history with WWE in terms of that brief run in NXT with Kushida. But yeah, either way, they'd be a good addition to any tag division.
Cool.
Yeah, you've got Tony Khan written all over them. They've been on, other shows, so Tony Khan will sign them up for a 3-year deal, and they'll join a faction and then wind up turning up every 3 weeks and having the odd match here and there, and everyone forgetting about them. Same as most of the AEW roster.
They're already in talks with AEW to book. So,
no surprises.
Probably feud with beer money.
Maybe they like Fulham. I don't know.
They can feud with Jarrett and what's his name, Jay Lethal, and do their weekly TNA segment from 2007.
That was your news.
I think it's late. I'm getting grumpy. I'm getting grouchy. I need a nap.
Just going to wrap it up real quick. I just wanted to share some pictures. I'll quickly share them. I'll ask you guys to send in some pictures. And here we have Adam with Bailey.
I'm actually wearing the same t-shirt, coincidentally. I didn't do that on purpose.
Yeah, of course you didn't.
But some people think I only own one t-shirt. I own some more.
Also, one with you with good old Mick Foley. That's a great picture,
Yes,
to be fair.
that was a long time ago. I had a lot more hair. And
Bloody hell, you look younger now.
And I think, Tariq, was it you shared this one?
Yes, was at the convention. That's the only one I could find.
Yeah, that's fine. That's a great picture, though, to be fair. IRS and Bo Dallas. Hopefully, we see Bo Dallas back soon. And then, obviously, AEW was last year at Wembley. I was there as well. And then we've got Owen with CM Punk. It's a great picture, to be fair.
You met CM Punk? Where did you meet CM Punk?
That was AEW All In last year. He was outside the coffee shop, actually.
Yeah. Really.
You out chilling outside Wembley just while he went outside?
Yeah, he was chilling. He was actually walking around with Brody King, who I also got a picture with. And they're just outside a coffee shop. So yeah, we were able to get a picture, which is pretty cool.
Absolutely
Which one's Punk?
Nice one.
Which one's Punk? Yeah, the one on the left. No, that's great. Apparently, a lot of them were just roaming around Wembley, having a look around, and
they were. Yeah, it was very good.
Was that before the show, or was that after the show?
Before.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I did hear about that. Like they'll just chill early. Might do that next this year when I go down. Go early.
And Jake,
see like a spot.
Eddie Kingston as well.
Nice.
He was in sort of a rush, but he didn't let many people take pictures of him. But I think I was probably the only one, I would say, that probably took a picture with him. But obviously, you can see from my face that I was sort of.
It kind of looks like he's pointing to say, why are you taking a picture?
No, thanks, guys. Anybody in the chat wants to send pictures in, we're willing to show them. It's been a long one, so I know it was such a lot to discuss. Going forward in the future, we'll try at an earlier time as well. We've just got to work out with the guys who run the channel. Next week, you have to stay tuned because I'm not sure when we can do a show because the mighty Arsenal are playing Luton next Wednesday night. So hopefully you might see Jake in an Arsenal shirt as well after that. So stay tuned. I just want to thank everybody in the comments, Russ, Morgan, Mr. Tom, in the North Bank, Colonel Ward. We had great viewers in tonight, guys, and it's been a great show. So all that's left for me to do is thank each and every one of you. Tony, thank you for coming on, mate.
You're welcome. No problem. Sorry about the technical difficulties.
So I used down under at one point, so yeah.
Thought you were Spider-Man at one point.
Yeah. George, thanks for coming on, mate. Pleasure as always.
No worries, mate. Cheers for having me on.
Excellent. And Tariq, always a pleasure, mate.
Thank you very much. It's been another great show. Can't wait for next week.
Wicked. And Craig, always a pleasure. I hope the knee gets better soon, mate.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Good. Look forward to these. Yeah, good laugh.
Abdi, great to have you on his debut.
Thank you very much. It was a brilliant show. I really enjoyed it, and hopefully I can come on again soon.
Definitely, you're always more than welcome, everyone. And Owen, another great tag. Both of you tag team debuts tonight. Well done. You're going 1-on-1 with the Undertaker.
Thank you. Yeah, very enjoyable.
Excellent. And Adam, always a pleasure. I know we keep you up late every weekend. We will try and change the time. We'll.
I have an early start. I work from home on a Thursday. I have a 7 a.m. call, so I need to get to bed.
Straight to bed after this.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
And Jake, thank you for that. Well done with the news, mate. I know that was real good. Like, you've done it well. Well done.
Thanks for having me on.
Excellent. So yeah, we enter into the final straight of WrestleMania. So roll on next week. Good night, guys.
Laters.